Hey guys, welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the Dee Time Love Show. And today we've got a very interesting video. I've got two watches that have come into the channel, full disclosure, from a company called Geya based in China. Now, this brand has been around for quite a while now. They've been producing some cool homage watches. I've had a few people contact me on the channel before about these, but I've never really taken an interest to them. I'm not into homage watches, but a lot of guys have posted them in the groups and so on, and they look reasonably good. I've not heard anything negative about them or anything like that, and they got in contact with me. Two watches that have come in, and I have to say they are very much playing homage to very expensive watches. So they really do produce affordable alternatives, but are they any good? So today I'm going to review one of these watches. I'm going to review the Geya Planetary Flywheel mechanical watch, and we've also got another one that's come in that are unboxed today, so you can check it out. That is of like an RM watch with baguettes and diamonds, all the whistles as such. So let's have a look at the first box. You got the outer box there, very cool indeed. Space Geya, very cool, I have to say. Cool outer box, fly into space, very space orientated and quite fitting for this particular timepiece. You can see the substantial box there. Let's just pop it open. Fly into space, Geya, as you can see there, guys. And you've got a film protecting the box itself. You've got the sponge there, and there you have an astronaut spaceman as well. And there you have the Geya Planetary Flywheel mechanical watch. Look at this, my word. And you can see from a distance it is really playing homage to that Jacob & Co. Okay, you can tell there's got as much detail even at a distance, but it has got an impact. It's quite imposing, and it's absolutely huge. I believe it's around about 46 millimeters. Let's have a look at the second watch they sent in to me. Same box yet again, same setup, exactly the same. Which is, you get a substantial box. Shout out to Geya. They don't cut corners with packaging or anything like that. But are the watches any good? This is probably what you're here to find out. The watches that are on showcase on the channel today are on sale at the moment. I'll leave a link in the description, but let's pop this box open. Yeah, again, you can see the film. Let's just remove that. Very good. And you've got that spaceman, that astronaut, got a bit of weight to it, I would say as well. Very cool. I think my son would like that. And there you have that RM homage with that Torno case, those diamonds and those baguettes. Look at that. I mean, yeah, skeletonized, feels quite substantial. It's on a bracelet as well. And you also get two straps for this, guys. I'll review this watch. Not today, it's just an unboxing of this. I'm going to review the first one, but you get some cool straps as well. Just pop that away. Let's change perspective and take a closer look at the timepiece in hand. First off, just look at this thing. My oh my. Geya, you could say if you like these types of watches, Geya have really hit it out of the park with this design. It's it's really cool. Now, the star of the show, without a doubt, is that memorizing planetary flywheel. It's not just a balance wheel. It's just constantly rotating the celestial body right on your wrist. So it mimics that orbital motion, which is cool, yeah? Giving you that sort of planetarian experience like you get with the Jacob & Co. And of course, it's not the same level in terms of quality and finish of that Jacob & Co. Is a masterpiece. This is not at that level, so don't mistake what I'm saying, but it does give you that sort of experience when you see it. You thought, wow, you see these little details when they move on the dial of the watch. It's very cool indeed. Now, look at that crystal. It's huge. It's not a sapphire crystal. It's a curved mineral crystal, and it's got that anti-glare, so you can see it, but it does distort at different angles, I have to say. Now, let's talk about what makes this watch tick. And it's quite fascinating for me because if you look at the amount of work that goes into that Jacob & Co., whether you love it or hate it, you have to appreciate that they've put a piece of art. It's like a monument on your wrist. Now, Geya, they had to really think about how to produce and sort of replicate to give you a you could say a light version of that piece. Now, the Geya Planetary Flywheel features a dual core movement. So what does that mean? Well, you have a precise Swiss caliber 756 quartz module movement, the hour and minute hands, as you can see there, guys. This ensures excellent timekeeping. It's very accurate because it's quartz. But then you've got the mechanical side. You've got a mechanical system that drives that incredible planetary flywheel. And it's got a decorative animation, not only a functional tourbillon, but it replicates the heartbeat of mechanical watches, adding like a visual complexity. And you could say a kinetic allure, you know. This is a bit like the way they've done it. And I'll give you an example after I go through the specs in regards to how it all works, but it's really quite a unique combination. And I'm guessing they had a budget and how they were going to produce this thing, and they sourced, certain, mechanical movements and quartz movements that could really captivate that mechanical display. And the winding and setting the time is also cleverly integrate in the design. So let's turn around the watch and have a look how this watch actually operates. Now let's look at the case back of this watch. This is where it gets really interesting. And I have to say, you can see what Geya have done, the innovation, the ideas they did to give you that experience, like similar to what you'd get with a Jacob & Co. But they had to think out of the box to bring it to a price point that doesn't break the bank. First of all, what you do notice is the astronaut, the spaceman, engraved at the back, the planets and so on. That fella there, as you can see there, is engraved on the case back, which is a nice touch, really cool. I think my son will like that anyway. But anyway, as you can see there, you've got a pusher there, and that's for operating the actual quartz movement. And this is a mechanism that you wind the actual mechanical aspect of this watch to give you that animation on the dial. So let's turn this over, and I found a technique. It's the second time I'm doing this. It was a little bit fiddly and it's quite hard to do with gloves. So what you do, you lift up this lid here. As you can see there, guys, you lift it and you wind it. And you can hear it winding away, that manual wind movement. And then you give life to the timepiece. Look at this, guys. You can see the tourbillon ticking away, and you can see the planet orbiting away in the universe. And yeah, you could say the planets look a little bit cheap, a little bit like Christmas decorations, but it's very interesting, I have to say. Let's have a look now at the actual quartz movement to see how that operates. So you have to use like a little mini screwdriver to operate this. Now, what you need to do, first of all, when you push into that pusher, just hold it down. And the only problem is, as you can see here, guys, you have to hold it down and go through the 12-hour process to get it. So let's make it 6 o'clock, say, for example. You have to hold it down and you have to concentrate. Then make sure you don't skip a beat. And I've actually gone past there. So it's literally 1 minute past 6 o'clock. But if you want to, the other process would be if you just hit it like a pulse action, for example, like this. Well, I've hit it too hard. Okay, so it does circle all the way back. That's great. So if we do it again, one action. You hit it once. Okay, so if you do like a pulse action, I was told, like this, one time touch, it will move the minute hand, as you can see there. So it allows you to give it a bit more accuracy. Yes, it's a little bit long-winded, this quartz movement, this Swiss movement, and yes, it's quite time consuming to adjust the time. But the good news is it is a quartz watch. So once you adjust it and you're in that time zone, you don't need to adjust it again unless you need to change the battery, which is great. The only thing that you'll end up having to get hands on with is winding the actual mechanical movement of this watch to basically, it's basically there to the mechanical movement is there for the animation aspect of the actual dial. Now, and as you can see, that big case, that mineral crystal, 46 millimeters, it's absolutely huge. But you know, my first impressions are, you've got to take in consideration the price point of this particular timepiece, and at every angle you've got different view. You can see that quartz movement, and the actual quartz movement is relatively well decorated. You know, it gives you the illusion that it is a mechanical watch, which is fair enough. And then on the other side, you've got another view, which is pretty cool. Um, you know, what would I say? You know, they don't look amazingly finished. Doesn't look cheap, but when you compare it to a Jacob and Co., there is no comparison in terms of the finishing. You could say the planets look a little bit more like a Christmas decoration, but they are really interesting. And every person that I've shown this watch to, they're like, wow, dude, what is that watch? What is it exactly? But the thickness is, look, if you've got a small wrist, this is probably not going to be the watch for you. I guess they couldn't make it any smaller. Look at the case thickness. It's 22 millimeters in terms of case thickness with that dome mineral crystal. But if you want something with the wow factor without breaking the bank, and you really like the look of these types of watches, but you feel you're never going to have that kind of budget, it's a fun piece to add your collection. It's not something that you build your collection with. This is very much an add-on timepiece. And I just hope that, you know, you don't just pull the trigger randomly. Really think about it, how much you like this timepiece. It is cool for the price, and I think they normally retail around £850 sterling, but they're on the sale at the moment. They've got them on discount around £650 sterling. I'll leave a link in the description. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think of this watch? Do you think it's a good homage of the Jacob and Co? I mean, look, you can tell straight away that it is a Jacob and Co homage. Um, a watered down version, a diet version, you could say. If I'm being overly critical, I think they could have worked a little bit more on those planets with the finishing and on the back dial. Yes, it does look the universe and stars. Imagine if they used a real adventuring, you know, dial. I think people would have been happily pay a lot more for the watch, even though it increases the cost, which is fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's clever. It's been cleverly done, you know, to give you the illusion of a very expensive timepiece, and they did a great job thinking out the box. That's for sure. It's not everybody's cup of tea, like I said. However, if you're lusting over a timepiece like that Jacob and Co, this could be the only watch out there. I'm not seeing anything out there that even comes close to that Jacob and Co, especially at this price point, guys. And you are getting, if not a proper, you know, tourbillon, a flywheel, planetary tourbillon, whatever they call this thing, it is cool and it is very nice to look at, I have to say. Very cool indeed. And I guess if you're looking at the technical aspect of things, you're getting a Swiss quartz movement, so it's going to be accurate, it's going to be reliable, it's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to please quite a few wrists out there. Like I said, it's not for everybody, and I look forward to the comments on this one, guys. Now let's have a look at the watch on my 6.5-inch wrist, and like I said, it's not for smaller wrists, and it wears quite large for my wrist, but you know what, it's quite comfortable. The leather strap is a little bit stiff, but I think I need to break it in. I think it'll be fine. The quality is okay. I've had a lot worse leather straps at this price point, I will have to say. So Geya have sourced a reasonably good leather strap as well. It's pretty thick, you know, at 22 millimeters in terms of case thickness, guys, as you can see. And what can I say? I mean, it's fairly large, I have to say. I'm going to say this, you know, if I'm being overly critical, I'm just looking at this watch, you know, the actual watch itself at a distance looks really cool, and I'm being a little bit picky. But I think if they added an adventuring dial, the backdrop of this watch, the way it glittered, like looking into the universe, would have been absolutely amazing. And I believe people would pay an extra £300-400 just to have that dial. But overall, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, I have to say. Let's shut the lights and have a look at the loom, guys. Bear with me. Now, we're not in total darkness, but let's just check this out. Let's see how this looms up. So the minute hand and the hour hand loom up a little bit, which is fair enough. So at least you can see it in the dark. It's not too bad at all. I'll leave you on this note, my sort of final conclusion in regards to this watch. It's definitely a conversation starter. It's really got a specific audience, but I do think it has an audience in terms of people that may not have the money or may not necessarily want to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds for this type of watch. And I'd say, yeah, it has its purpose and it suits that purpose. Yes, it's not for everybody. It's not ultra high quality or anything like that, but the quality is adequate for the price, I may add. It is good value for money in terms of what you're getting. And let's not forget, they could have gone with any quartz movement. They've gone for a Swiss quartz movement. They've got a tourbillon. They don't really state where it's from, but they've modified it to make it look like that Jacob & Co, which isn't an easy thing to do. So they've had to innovate really to try and put something together. Someone had to sit down and really brainstorm how we could actually achieve this and what would be the best, you know, movement and mechanical movement to use and parts and so on, to give you a package that replicates, well, not almost replicates that JPEG & Co. I mean, that thing is a piece of art. It's a masterclass, you know, of engineering. You know, it's a mechanical ornament, that is, and this sits on the wrist very much like a mechanical ornament, I would say. And it's probably more wearable than Jacob & Co because it's got that actual quartz movement. It's going to be accurate and so on. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment. You know, what do you think about this watch, guys? And I'll be back with some more reviews. I've got loads of independent watch brands coming back to the channel that you guys requested, and I also will review that Geya watch, that RM homage as well, to give you guys a bit of an insight to my thoughts in regards to this. So like I said, it has a few areas of improvement needed, but overall for the price you can't really argue with it, can you really? For what you're getting, it's pretty cool. And I will leave you on this note, it's not going to be a foundation piece in the collection. It's always going to be a fun piece that you add to your staple collection for a bit of fun. I wouldn't say this will be your one and done watch, guys. I'm just throwing that out there. And full disclosure, this said it's in for review, but I'm trying to be as honest and critical as I can, you know. So guys, take care, leave your comments below, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.